remember when you're barbecue on the list, about now, oh, the kitchen opens today. So the kitchen will open fairly shortly too if you're hungry.
Each competitor is allowed 3 attempts in the squat, 3 attempts in the bench press, and 3 attempts in the deadlift. What's a squat? Well, we have an apparatus set up here, a bar which weighs 25 kilograms. Plates are added to make up the aggregate. The lifter is required to stand upright with the bar resting across the top of their shoulders. To the judges' satisfaction, we will go into that in more detail as time progresses. 14 lifters in total, I think, from an original field of 17. Okay, so we are going to go through in one flight or one group. So it'll be all 14 lifters following on. If we had more than 14 lifters, we would go through in 2 flights or 2 groups. So it will go through the competition, that is, fairly quickly and fairly efficiently. Lifting order from lightest to heaviest. Need the glasses, by the way. To kick off this morning's competition in the squat section, a Miss Sarah Ma, Brittany Schwarzenegger, she's from Austria, Christina Stefan, Lynn Peachy, Quay Lan, I hope Brooks, Quay Lan, did I get that part right? I hope I got that part right. Luke Mullins, Robert Wiggins, Daniel Sandover, Jimmy Ambrose, Tom Craig, Miguel de Guzman, Sean Martin, Nathan Lord, and Danny Trong. So the opening squat is 95 kilograms. The bar is loaded. First lifter of the day, Sarah Ma. Let's give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. She is the first lifter for the 2022 WA Services Cup. She is representing the Army, Australian Army, I would assume. Brittany, you are next. The weight on the bar is 100 kilograms. Brittany's body weight at weigh-in, which may have been conducted this morning or even yesterday, is 61.7 kilograms. She looks like the lightest body weight competitor. Yes, indeed she is. So Brittany from the Power Pit Gymnasium, you are the next lifter, 100 kilograms. Lifting order thereafter, Christina, Lynn, Quay Lan, Luke, Robert, Danielle, and Mr. Jimmy Ambrose. Each lifter must make at least 1 good lift in the squat section, 1 good lift in the bench press, and 1 good lift in the deadlift to form a total, powerlifting total. So Brittany's first lift in any sanctioned powerlifting event is here today at the Port Kennedy Return Services League. Brittany is representing the Navy, wherever the Navy is stationed. Oh, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Straight back into the rack. Head judge, side judge Shauna, and Monica Cook, thank you very much. 3 white paddles. A white paddle is a good lift. A red paddle, maybe not so good. Oh, yes, that's right, too. So if the lifters could come and see the entirely delightful Domenica here at the score desk to submit a second or third attempt. 115 for Christina, who is representing DFES, Department of Fire and Emergency Services, I believe. I think Fire Brigade when I was a kid 100 years ago. So Department of Fire and Emergency Services for Christina. Lynn, you'll follow in a moment. Very, very easy squat. So we can see, ladies and gentlemen, already 3 white paddles are the popular choice for the judges and the crowd also. For each lifter as they move through the competition, that's 3 successful first attempts thus far. Lynn Peachy, you are on deck now. Quay Lan, Luke, Robert, Danielle, Jim, Tom Craig, I hope Tom Craigie. Somebody over the back knows Tom Craigie, yes, thank you. Tom Craig, Miguel de Guzman, Sean Martin, Nathan Lord, and Danny Trong in that particular order. So Lynn now on deck, just shy of 82 kilograms body weight. Navy, N-A-V-Y. Very much like her shirt, almost a blue. Thank you, Lynn. And up, and perhaps back into the rack. White, white, and white. Good squat. Thank you very much. Quaylan. I'll get that part right. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Quaylan? You'll have Quaylan, sorry. Quaylan Brook. Trouble with these glasses, you can't see anything without them. Quaylan Brooks, 264-pound opening squats. Same as Lynn's. Bar is loaded. Thank you, Samuel. Luke, you'll follow. Robert, Daniel, Jim, and Tom Craigie. To be followed by Miguel, Sean, Nathan, and Danny. We then move to round 2 of the squats in our single flight only of lifters. Another Navy lifter. So down, very, very muscular indeed. And up, back into the rack. Thank you very much. Luke Mullins, 1, 2, 5. 2 lifters at 125 kg, 276 pounds. If you are old school. Luke, you are the first at 78.1 kilograms body weight. To be followed by Robert Wiggins, Danielle Sandover with a 130, Jimmy Ambrose with a 140, Tom, ouchies. Hope your fingers went anywhere underneath that. Do we have a medic? Miguel de Guzman, Sean Martin, Nathan Lord, and Danny Trong in that particular order. So bar now being centered. Thank you, Samuel. Bar now loaded. Lifter on deck, Luke Mullins, 78.1 kg, 125. We can see, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, simple mathematics. This is around about 50 kilograms, or probably not quite, 40 kilograms above his own body weight. So very impressive on a power to body weight scale, if that makes sense. That's how a powerlifting formula works. More or less the same way. And back into the rack. Luke is Army, and the following lifter, Robert Wiggins, is also Army. Same weight on the bar for Robert Wiggins. I'm not sure about... pin height 18, please. So the rack is multi-adjustable in terms of pin height, racks in and rack out. For lifters, short, medium and tall. In a sanctioned event, we have a large, complicated, convoluted apparatus called a monolift. Not so here today. Not required. So bar definitely loaded now for Robert Wiggins. Each lifter must make at least 1 good squat, 1 good bench press, and 1 good deadlift at the WA 2022 Services Cup in cold and dreary Port Kennedy. It was sunny last year, actually. Not so this year. Oh, nice squat indeed. Beautifully done. Back into the rack. Danielle Sandover, 130 kilograms at 81.35 body weight. Danielle is representing the Australian Navy. Jimmy Ambrose, former Australian Army. Tom is Navy. Miguel is a police officer. Sean is Army. Nathan, DFES, and Danny Trong is also a member of the, I assume, WA Police Force. Assume? Presume? So we can see the bar now dropping down a bit there in terms of bar height for Danielle Sandover. 81.35, 130 on the bar. Jimmy Ambrose, you'll follow. Tom Craigie, Miguel, Sean, and Nathan. Danielle is wearing the tight-fitting knee wraps, elasticized knee wraps, which are an option in the sport of powerlifting. You don't have to wear them if you don't want to. So all set up now. Oh, how have a look at that. Very, very easy. And back into the rack. Nicely done. 3 white paddles. Thank you very much, Monica, Shauna, and Samuel. Lifting order now. Jimmy Ambrose, living legend. 140 to be loaded on the bar at a body weight of 75.2 kilos. Tom, you'll follow. Miguel, Sean, Nathan, and Danny. Sport of powerlifting began in 1972 in Australia in a non-metricated society. Happy 50th birthday, in fact, to the sport of powerlifting. 51 years of age in 2023. Jimmy Ambrose has won more or less every powerlifting comp. It's still working. He has entered since probably 1977. I think was Jim's first foray into the sport of powerlifting. 1977 World Championships were held here in Perth. Down. Nicely done. Back into the rack. Thank you, Jim. Looks like 3 whites to me. Yes, indeed it is. We'll take a second attempt when you're ready. Same weight on the bar now for Tom Craigie. 88.8 kg body weight. Pin height 19. Miguel, you'll follow. Sean, Nathan, and Danny. Once again, folks, 1 group or 1 flight of lifters only in the squat section. The same will apply in the bench press and also the deadlift. Deadlift is the fastest moving part of the day. So a little bit taller, Mr. Tom Craigie representing the Navy. Tom Craigie from the Navy. Miguel, you'll follow. Sean, Nathan, and Danny. So 3 white paddles. Once again, folks, we haven't seen any red paddles. Fingers crossed we won't see any red paddles as the morning progresses. 20 past 10, according to the clock behind us. I'd say we should wrap up the squat section probably around 11, maybe 11:15 at the latest. Each lifter once again is allowed 3 attempts. No 4th attempts, as there are no records to be set or broken, as it is a non-sanctioned event. There is no parent company or no parent sporting organisation. This is a Samuel Murphy initiative. Samuel is also a former member of something. Oh, beautiful depth. So back into the rack there, straight away that should be 3 white paddles. We refer to depth as the judge's perspective from the side position. That is the top of the hips, well below the top of the knees. So the crease at the hips below the top of the knees. Sean Martin, 155. Pardon me, 342 pounds, pin height 17. Loading chart is a 25 kilogram bar, 2 25 kilo plates aside, a 10 and a 2.5. The bar is loaded. Thank you very much, Samuel. Sean is representing the Army, Nathan, Department of Fire and Emergency Services. And the final lifter, Danny Trong, is police. Back into the rack. 3 white paddles. Lovely to see so many white paddles. Certainly no red paddles from my perspective. Nathan Lord, same weight on the bar, pin height 22. Danny Trong, you have the highest opening attempt of the morning, 160 kilograms. We will then go back to probably Sarah for her second attempt. Brittany, Christina, Lynn, and Quaylen. Very unusual name, that, Quaylen. So Nathan Lord on deck now on the lifting platform, or the dance floor when you get drunk enough, here today at the Port Kennedy Returned Services League. Setting himself up. Must squat down to parallel, that is from the side judge's perspective. Just like that one, ladies and gentlemen, and back into the rack. Nicely done indeed. Final lifter, heaviest opener, 160 kilograms, 353 pounds. Danny Trong, you are the lifter, 88.1 kg. So almost twice his body weight. 88 kg body weight, 160 on the bar. Danny will be followed by, that is in round 2, Sarah, Brittany, Christina, Lynn, Quaylen and Luke. So this is the heaviest opening lift of the day, 160 for Danny Trong. Oh gosh, easy peasy. Utilising the neoprene knee sleeves. Round 2, lovely to see no reds by the way too. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Round 2, flight 1, this single flight, the one and only flight for the day, for the squats. 102.5 is the nominated weight. That is a 25, a 10 and a 1.25. Brittany, you'll follow on in a moment. Christina, Lynn, Quaylen and Luke. So every lifter now is successful. Again, very pleasing to see with their opening attempts in the squat section. We're on a roll. Hopefully we'll see the same in the second round of squatting. That might set some sort of record, actually, I would expect, in terms of success rate in the sport of powerlifting. Big deep breath. Must, just like that, down by, yes, nicely done. White, yeah, another successful attempt. Brittany, you are on deck now with 110, one lifter only at 110, and that is Brittany, 242.5 pounds. Sarah and Brittany, in that order, representing the Army and Navy. Christina, in a moment, Department of Fire and Emergency Services. Lynn is Navy, Quaylen is Navy, Luke is Army, and Robert is Army. So reversing out of the squat racks with the weight, and that being 242.5. And back into the racks. We would say that's a successful lift. 3 white paddles. Thank you again, Miss Schwarzenegger. Christina Stefan, you are on deck next, 125. Christina won this last year, if I remember rightly. Won the girls section. Lynn, you'll follow Christina, Quaylen, Luke, Robert, Danielle, Jimmy Ambrose, and Tom Craigie. Thank you, Samuel. Second round of squats out of a probable 3 rounds. Each lifter has a choice. They don't have to take a third attempt. It's advisable, but they don't have to. Nicely done. How strong is that? 1 red, ouchies, and 2 whites. So good lift. Ouchies. Yeah. 130 kg now for Lynn Peachy. 2 lifters at this weight, Lynn and Quaylen. Luke at 135, Robert, Danielle, Jimmy Ambrose, and Tom Craigie in that particular order. So we can see now 2 25-kilogram plates. Thank you very much, loaders. Spotters and loaders, in fact, if we are talking squat. No spotting required in the deadlift section, but certainly in the squat and bench press. S for Superwoman on her t-shirt. Lynn Peachy, you are the lifter, representing Navy. Looking again at 3 white paddles to keep up the success rate here at the 2022 Services Cup. Looks like a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly very challenging. And it's 3 white paddles. Quaylen, same weight on the bar, pin height 18. Luke, you'll follow. Robert, Danielle, Jim, and Tom in that particular order. The official photographer for today's event, and pretty much any other event, is Mr. Russ Cook, directly to my left. Thank you very much, Russ. Russ will no doubt be posting up photographs on some website or another at some point in time later today. Thank you very much. West Australian Powerlifting Association website, in fact. Quaylen is representing also the Navy. Easily done, and back into the rack. See if Shauna flicks a red. No, she's flicked a white. Thank you very much, Shauna. Luke Mullins, 135. Pin height 17. Robert, you'll follow. Danielle. Jim, Tom, and Miguel in that particular order. 3 lifters tied at 165 on their second attempts in the squat. Unusual. Indeed, sir. So Luke representing the Army, as is Robert. Danielle Sandover, Navy. Jim Ambrose, the Army. And Tom Craigie, the Navy. Reaching correct depth, ladies and gentlemen, and back up then to the topmost or uppermost position. Thank you very much, sir. I think we stay on the same. No, sorry. 2 lifters now at 140. 2 25-kilogram plates and a 5. So that's right. 2.5 off, 5 on. The aggregate, therefore, is 140 kg. The bar is 25 kg, or 55 pounds. Robert will be followed by Danielle, Jimmy Ambrose, Tom Craigie, Miguel, Sean, Nathan, and Danny. So the bar is held across the top of the shoulder girdle, trapezius muscles in terms of a high bar squat. Low bar squat is generally carried along the top of the rear deltoids. So this is a high bar squat. Nice depth indeed. And up. No complaints there. 3 white pedals, I believe. Thank you very much, Monica. Danielle, 140. That would be the same weight on the bar, of course. So 225s, a 5 and a collar. Danielle, Jimmy Ambrose, Tom Craigie, Miguel de Guzman, Sean Martin, Nathan Lord, and Danny Trong in that particular order. Thank you again, Samuel. Second lift now for Danielle Sandover. Jim, Tom, Miguel, Sean, Nathan, and Danny in that particular order. So we can see lifters must hit reverse gear very, very carefully in the squat. Yes, and nicely done. Back into the rack. Say that should be a 3. Yes, indeed it is. Thank you very much, judges. Jimmy Ambrose, 150, 75 kilogram body weight. Right on double body weight, 75 kg as opposed to 150. Tom, you'll follow. Miguel, Sean, Nathan, and Danny. Third attempts have been submitted. Every lifter at this point in time will be attempting a third squat at the 2022 Services Cup. WA Services Cup, quite obviously WA, Western Australia. Jimmy Ambrose, former Australian Army, Vietnam, I believe. It's going back a few years, 1970s. So this is an example of a low bar or powerlifting style squat. Thank you, Jim. Nicely done, and back into the rack. Thank you again, sir. Tom Craigie. Let's have a look. 2 lifters at 160. Tom, you're the first. 2 25s, a 15, and a collar. So Tom and Miguel tied at this particular weight, and in fact also lifting in the same body weight division, that being the under 200 pound, 198 pound body weight division. Sean, you are lifting in the 100 kg or 220 pound body weight division. Nathan Lord, just missing out at the 110s, lifting in the 125s. And Danny Trong also in the 90s. Thank you, Samuel. As we mentioned, Tom is representing the Naval Academy, Navy. Back into the rack. Thank you very much, Tom. And 3 white paddles. Miguel, you are the next lifter representing the police. 160, same weight on the bar. Different rack height, I believe. 14, I don't know why I said 14. 14 for Miguel de Guzman. To be followed by Sean Martin, Nathan Lord, and Danny Trong. Thank you, Samuel. So once again, folks, the lifter must position themselves more or less central. We can see now Matt Dawson making sure that the lifter is centralised under bar. Pointless being a couple of inches off either side. Very, very difficult then to be able to lift the bar. Oh my gosh, how is that depth? How can you even squat that deep? How is it even possible? That man is made of rubber, I tell you. Gumby. 165, Sean Martin. You are the first lifter of 3 at this particular weight. Sean, Nathan, and Danny. Sean Martin, you are the first lifter at 165. Nathan Lord, you are second. And finally, Danny Trong. 364 pounds on the bar. Nice squat indeed. Equivalent highest weight of the morning thus far, until we get to the deadlifts, of course. Bar stays the same in terms of weight, but pin height 22, please. Very tall lifter indeed. Pin height 22. Nathan, you'll be followed by Danny. Thereafter back to Sarah, Brittany, Christina, Lynn, and Quaylen. Please bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, some of these lifts will be all-time personal bests for these lifters. They may not have ever attempted these weights inside or outside of a gymnasium, anywhere on planet Earth, in fact. So these are, in fact, personal records for many of these lifters. Nice squat indeed, and back into the rack. Same weight on the bar, pin height 15 for Danny Trong, who is representing the police. Nathan representing the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. Final attempt in the squat, that is, ladies and gentlemen, second round of squatting. Danny Trong, you are the lifter. Again, folks, you are at the 2022 WA Services Cup. Down, oh, easily done. Great squat indeed. Back into the rack, 3 whites. How about that? That's 2 full rounds now without a missed lift. Green all the way through on the scoreboard. Third round of squatting begins right now. 110, pin height 14 for Sarah Ma. Loading chart is a 25 kilogram plate, a 15 and a collar. Brittany, Christina, Lynn, Quaylen, Luke, Robert and Daniel. I would suggest the lifting order probably has not changed and probably will not change in any way, shape or form for the remainder of the competition. Your lifter now, ladies and gentlemen, is Sarah Ma, third and final attempt in the squat section. Most likely, again, as we mentioned earlier, personal best in this particular discipline. Down she goes. And yes, we're going. Yes, oh, nicely done indeed. How about that? Third and final attempt. And what a way to kick off the third round too. 1-2-0. Oh my gosh, it's very close to double body weight. 61.7 kg body weight. 120 on the bar in her first ever powerlifting event. Holy moly. Very, very impressive indeed. Thank you very much, Brittany. Christina, Lynn, Quaylen, Luke, Robert and Danielle in that particular order. Thank you, Samuel. Very close to double her own body weight. First ever powerlifting event here today at the Port Kennedy Returned Services League. How's that barbecue going, by the way? Third and final attempt. Down she goes. Oh! Ooh, close on the rack signal. Not a sanctioned event, so we've allowed that one to slide through. Well done indeed. Greens all the way through on the scoreboard still. 135 on one lifter only at this way. Christina Stefan, you are the lifter, representing the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. Lynn, you are Navy. Quaylen, you are Navy. Luke, you are Army. And Robert, you are Army in that particular order. Third and final attempt for Christina. Lynn, Quaylen, Luke, Robert, Danielle, Jim and Miguel in that particular order. Down she goes to the bottom position on her way up. Nicely done once again. And back into the rack. 3 white paddles. Going to be very close. 1-4-0. 2 lifters at this particular weight. Lynn Peachy and Quaylen Brooks. To be followed thereafter by Luke Mullins, Robert Wiggins, Danielle Sandover, Jim Ambrose, Miguel de Guzman, Sean Martin and Nathan Lord. Yes, Lynn representing Navy. A big deep breath at the top of the lift. Quite obviously lots of concentration. Down. No. Well, we nearly made it a clean sweep. Very close to. 3 white paddles would have been great. Great try though, I must admit. Quaylen Brooks 140. Same weight on the bar, pin height 18. You'll be followed by Luke Mullins, Robert Wiggins, Danielle Sandover and Jimmy Ambrose. Once again, folks, third and final attempt, very likely a personal best. Oh, have a look at that now. 3 red paddles. Right on their limit, these particular lifters here now. Third round of squatting. Luke Mullins, Robert Wiggins, Danielle Sandover and Jimmy Ambrose. 2 lifters now at 145, and that is Luke and Robert. So bar now loaded. There will be a break, ladies and gentlemen, following the completion of the third round of squats to allow the lifters time to warm up for the bench press section. Third and final attempt now for Luke. Down and, oh, nicely done once again. Back into the rack. 3 white paddles. Same weight on the bar, pin height 18. The combination of the squat and deadlift adds about 75% to a lifter's total. The bench press will add about 25%. So we can break that down a bit further and say that potentially a squat would add about 37.5% to a lifter's aggregate or total. So it's very important to have balanced lifting all the way through in the sport of powerlifting. A good all-rounder is what we're looking for. Somebody fairly proficient in the squat, bench and deadlift. Third and final attempt now. Oh, look at the depth on the way up. Oh, beautiful. Great choice of weights, by the way, too. I'd suggest there wasn't much more left over on that one. 150 now for Daniel Sandover. Jimmy Ambrose, you'll follow with 155. Third and final attempt now, Daniel Sandover. 150 on the bar. Again, potentially a PB, PB being personal best. Danielle will be followed by Jimmy Ambrose, Miguel, Sean, Nathan, Danny Trong, and finally Tom Craigie. Change of lifting order there. Big deep breath, lots of concentration, down to the bottom and up we go. Nicely done. And back into the rack. Beautifully done indeed. Jimmy Ambrose, 5 kilograms or 11 pounds more. Pin height, rack height, that is 7. You'll be followed by Miguel, Sean, Nathan, Danny, and Tom Craigie. Tom sky high there with a 190, 419 pounds on the old scale. Thank you, Samuel. Third and final attempt now for Mr. Ambrose. Again, representing the Australian Army. Jimmy, a resident of, I believe, either Warwick or Hammersley, up north of the river there. Just off Erindale Road. That sort of general area. So big deep breath once again, low bar squat. Spotters at the ready. Down he goes and on his way. Oh, how about that? Very slight pause midway, but a lovely squat indeed. A red paddle again, ouchies. Jeepers. Hard to get a squat past Shauna Jenkins, we believe. 170. Miguel de Guzman, you are the lifter. 375 pounds. Miguel, you are representing the police. Sean, the army. Nathan, the DFES. And finally, Danny is representing police. Although Tom is the final lifter now, so he is Navy. Navy brings up the rear guard. Deepest squats ever in Australian, perhaps even world powerlifting history coming up here for Miguel de Guzman. I'm sure he won't be getting a red from Shauna Jenkins for depth. Oh my gosh! Nice to see he stayed with it all the way through. Good try in the squat though, I must admit. Sean Martin, 175. 3 lifters now. Sean, Nathan and Danny. No doubt 3 different rack heights, but same weight on the bar. 386 pounds. If we were lifting in 1972, we'd be utilising pounds. Oh, we might be using the metric system. Third and final attempt in the squat section. Sean, Nathan, you'll follow, Danny and Tom. Down. Oh, have a look at this. And up we go. Into the rack and 3 white paddles. Same weight on the bar now, please, for Nathan. Pin height 22. Danny, you are pin height or rack height 15. Tom, will get to yours in a moment's time. Yours is a change of weight and also a change of pin height. So big deep breath once again, folks. Lots of concentration in all 3 powerlifting disciplines. Squat, bench press and deadlift. Deadlift makes up, as we mentioned, about 37.5% of a lifter's total. Hopefully no injuries. Felt it. Okay, well, let's hope you didn't feel an injury. Same weight on the bar now, please, for Danny Trong. Again, very close to double body weight here. 88.1 kg body weight. 175 on the bar. So 5 kilograms, more or less, away from double his own body weight. Danny Trong representing the police. Tom Craigie, you are the heaviest lifter with a 190 in a moment's time. Twice his own body weight, very, very close too. Backing out of the rack now, setting himself correct foot width and position, wearing the neoprene tight-fitting knee sleeves, and on his way up. Oh, yes, nice squat indeed. Back into the rack. I reckon he would have got that. All right, 3 reds due to stalling out sort of part way up, I suppose. Losing balance, according to the head ref. Final lift of the morning in the squat section, that is, just before 11 a.m. 190 or 419 pounds. 325s, a 5 and a collar. Pin height, as we mentioned earlier on, 19. Final squat of the entire event. No more squats remain. No fourth attempts are allowable, being a non-sanctioned event. Tom Craigie, you are the final lifter and the heaviest weight of the day thus far. Should see a 500-pound deadlift a bit later, we would expect. Yes, oh no, how about that? And just like that, the squat section is over. How about giving all the lifters a huge round of applause for their efforts in the squat section? 20 minutes or thereabouts break whilst the athletes warm up the bench press. If you have any questions about powerlifting, please come and talk to us here at the scorer's desk. Dominica Soroka, I think you know a thing or two about powerlifting, I believe. Let's gentlemen, you are at the 2022 WA Services Cup, the second year in a row. The initial competition, the first competition was October of 2021. We're about to kick off the bench press section, which, as we mentioned earlier, adds, well, the lifter's individual bench press adds about 25% or a quarter to a lifter's total. The lifting order in the bench press section from lightest to heaviest. The first lifter is Danielle Sandover with a 60 kilogram bench press, 132 pounds. Miss Schwarzenegger, you are next with a 62.5. Sarah Ma, Lynn Peachy, Christina Stefan, Nathan Lord, Jimmy Ambrose, and Quaylen Brooks. What's a bench press? Well, the athlete is required to hold the bar at arm's length, lower the bar to the chest. There must be a visible pause. The lifter cannot bounce the bar off their chest. So we would be looking for things like, and we don't want to see this, mind you, a bounce off the chest, and it must be thereafter pushed to lockout or completion. There will be 2 calls from head referee, that referee being Mr. Matt Bilsma. Good morning to you, Matt. Thank you very much. Monica Cook, thank you very much for your refereeing also. And over here, Henry Day, you are the other side ref. Plenty of credentials and qualifications there. I think we're ready to go once you call bar is loaded. Thank you very much. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, in the bench press section. 60 kilograms or 132 pounds and 2 ounces for Danielle Sandover, Brittany, Sarah, Lynn, and Christina in this particular order. So we can see there 2 distinct movements in terms of bench press. Each lifter must wait for the head referee's signal, the press and the rack signal. Press and rack. Bar now goes to 62.5 for Brittany. Now, this is a little unusual. Brittany's body weight is 61.7. She therefore is bench pressing her own body weight. In a competition of this nature for the girls, we would expect a bench press of about half to 3/4 body weight. So very, very powerful indeed to open with her own body weight on the bench press. Must pause and have a look at that. Oh, it might have been just outside of the rack signal. We have 1 red. Let me see what Henry said there. Could have been a white. We got a white from Monica. In a sanctioned comp, that automatically would have been a red. However, I think with some advice from Henry Day, that should be tidied up. Technical fault. Sarah Ma now 65 kilograms, 1 lifter only at this weight, 143 pounds and 3 ounces. The bar in the bench press section is 20 kilograms, unlike the 25 kilogram bar that was utilized in the squat section. Different bar and different metallic composition. Thank you, Matt. Once again, each lifter must make at least 1 good bench press in order to consolidate a subtotal. Subtotal is the addition of the best squat and the best bench press that the lifter has managed to post during the course of the competition. Back into the rack. That should be, yes it is indeed, 3 white light success. Lynn Peachy, you are the next lifter with a 75 kilogram or 165 pound bench. Bench press number 1, flight 1, one and only flight. Lynn will be followed by Christina, Nathan, Jim, Quaylen, Tom, Robert, Danny, Luke, Sean, and Miguel. Should see a couple of 300 pound bench presses as the morning progresses. 40 odd minutes until midday. The kitchen is open, ladies and gentlemen. If you are hungry, menus are available on each table, I believe. Up and back into the rack. And 3 whites. Thank you very much, referees. The bench press obviously therefore, ladies and gentlemen, a test primarily of upper body strength. 80. I'm just waiting. Thank you. We finally got there. 80 kilograms, 176 pounds. Christina Stefan, 34 years young, representing DFES, Department of Fire and Emergency Services. Hopefully no emergencies here at the moment with this particular bench press. Very wide hand grip. That's right, we're back in the rack. Well done, thank you, Christina. Nathan Lord would like 95. Once the scoreboard updates itself. Don't know if anyone's doing the scoreboard at all at the moment. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Thank you. 95 kilograms, a 25 kilogram, and a 10 kilo plate. 10 kilos is 22 pounds. 25 kilograms, a little bit more, obviously. So no lift out. We say lift out. An athlete attempting a bench press in the sport of powerlifting. Nice bench press. Can nominate a colleague, friend, family member or whoever to help lift out. Not so in that case. 3 lifters now at 100 kg, 220 pounds and 4 ounces. A 25 kilogram plate, a 10 and a 2.5. So the bench press now being adjusted for, obviously, different lifters' arms length. Thank you very much, Matt. Bar is now loaded. Lifter on deck, Jimmy Ambrose. 75 kilogram body weight, just into the 82s. 75 kilograms and 2 ounces, or 0.2 of a kilogram in Jim's case. Just over the 75s, 100 kg on the bar. Quaylen and Tom, you'll follow in that particular order. Thank you, Jim. And back into the rack. 1 red. Can't see what Henry's saying. And 2 whites. Now we have a red from the head judge. That's right. 1 red and 2 whites. So a good lift. We're just finding out why. So lockout issues. I think the athlete may need to speak to the head referee. Same weight on the bar now. Pin height 15 for Quaylen Brooks. Bar is definitely loaded. Thank you very much, Matt. Quaylen will be followed by Tom with the same weight. Robert Wiggins, Danny Trong, Luke Mullins, Sean Martin, and Miguel de Guzman. Please come and purchase some raffle tickets when you can, ladies and gentlemen. And the kitchen is open. Thank you very much. Back into the rack. 1 white, 2 whites, and 3 white paddles. Easy done. Tom Craigie, same weight on the bar. Tom is representing the Navy. Robert, you'll follow on in a moment. Danny, Luke, Sean, and Miguel. So again, no lift out for Tom. It's not a necessity, it's not obligatory, but a lifter is able to nominate someone to help them lift the bar out, up and back into the rack. Straight away we have 3 wed. What's a wed? Red? I think red. Some sort of technical fault, I think. I'm not sure what exact technical fault we're referring to here. Henry Day obviously doing a bit of coaching from the side there. Don't know what happened there, but anyway. Robert Wiggins, 110, 242.5 pounds. 1 lifter only at this weight. Danny Trong, Luke Mullins, Sean Martin, and Miguel de Guzman in that particular order. Right, so no lifters at this stage have asked for a compatriot, a colleague, a family member to help lift the bar out. Again, within the sport of powerlifting and the rules, it's not absolutely necessary. Easy bench press indeed, and back into the rack. Should be 3 whites. So we have a subtotal. There for Robert Danny Trong, one lifter only at 120, 264.5 pounds. Luke Mullins will follow, Sean Martin and Miguel de Guzman. So just 2 other things, ladies and gentlemen. Quite obviously the bar is open. Please go and purchase something from the bar. And the kitchen is open at the very rear of the complex here, premises. Ladies, I think the ladies, all working very busily away behind the counter there, if you're hungry. So bar being held at arm's length now, very narrow grip, down to the chest, a pause. Double bounce, in fact. Oh, yeah, very, very cumbersome opener, unfortunately. Double bounce on the chest and a non-existent lockout. 125, 2 lifters at 125, Luke and Sean. Both lifters, different body weight divisions, but same weight on the bar. Miguel, and then it'll be round 2 in the bench press. I think Danielle was 65. Thank you, Matt. The lifter's hands are now covered in chalk, magnesium carbonate if you wish. That helps the lifter grip the bar if the bar is slippery. A bit like gymnastics chalk, for example. Red, white, and Henry Day, I'm not sure what you're flicking there, or white maybe. Okay, are you white? White, so 2 to 1. Okay, all right. Just very hard to see. Same weight on the bar, please. Pin height 15 for Sean Martin. And finally, Miguel de Guzman. Again, Sean representing the Army, and back into the rack a little bit very quickly. Matt hurling the table tennis bat. Red, white, and what? Just 2 to 1 majority. 1-3-0 for Miguel de Guzman. Heaviest opening attempt of the day in the bench press section. Before we begin round 2 of the bench, flight 1, or the only flight or group of lifters of the day. So we'll kick off round 2 of bench pressing with Danielle, to be followed by Brittany, Sarah, Lynn, Christina, Nathan, Jim, and Quaylen. Must pause like that and up and rack. Yes, nicely done. So technically spot on. 3 white paddles would reflect that bench press. What do we got down? 130. So back now to 65 kilograms for Danielle. Bench press number 2. 20 kilogram plate. Each collar weighs 2.5 kilos or 5.5 pounds. Henry Day clearly hopeless at juggling. So second round of bench presses now. Danielle successful with a 132 pound bench. Moving up now to a 143 pound and 3 ounces bench press. And back into the rack. 1 white, 2 whites, and 3 whites. 65 kilograms. So that will be a 20. Same weight on the bar, in fact, for Brittany. 1.3 kilos above her own body weight. Again, very, very unusual indeed. Down to the chest. And back into the rack. Yes, it's a 3 white light success. Sarah Ma, 67.5, 148 or 148.8 pounds on the old scale. Sarah will be followed by Lynn, Christina, Nathan, Jim and Quaylen. Sarah is representing the Army. Lynn is representing the Navy. Must rest or pause on the chest. Nicely done indeed, beating the force of gravity there. 3 white paddles. Lynn Peachy, you are the next lifter. 80 kilograms, one lifter only at this particular weight. Christina, Nathan, Jim and Quaylen in that particular order. In about 5 minutes' time, we'll be halfway through the bench press section. That is halfway through round 2, flight number 1, the only flight. Each lifter is thereafter required, obviously, to submit a third attempt. Whether they are successful or unsuccessful is irrespective. Each lifter needs to submit a third attempt. If they don't wish to submit a third attempt, their best attempt, which is either their first or second, will be counted towards their subtotal. Easily done. 3 white paddles. I think I can't see Henry's paddle, but doesn't matter. We'll take it as being a white. 85 kilograms now, please. 187.4 pounds. 187 pounds and 4 ounces. Maybe. Half a pound. Christina Stefan, you are the lifter. Nathan Lord, Jim Ambrose, Quaylen Brooks and Tom Craigie in that order. So again, very pleasing to see, ladies and gentlemen, that every lifter now is able to consolidate a subtotal. Everyone, each lifter has made at least one successful squat and at least one successful bench press. That range of movement. 100 kilograms, please. 220 pounds, or 220 and a half pounds for Nathan Lord, Jimmy Ambrose, Quaylen Brooks, Tom Craigie. Moving up to the heaviest bench press of the day at this point in time, 135 at the tail end of this particular round. Lifter in this case, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Lord has asked for a friend, compatriot, teammate to lift the bar out. Back into the rack. 1 red, 1 white and 1 white. Let's find out what the red was for. All right, so in the bench press section, the bar cannot sink back into a lifter's chest after the bench press call has been given. That's why the red from the head judge. 105 for Jimmy Ambrose. I think Jimmy, quite some number of years ago, was an open class Australian record holder in the bench press. 140, thank you very much. It was up around about the, I thought it was in the 140 somewhere. So you are now watching one of Australia's premier bench presses from the WAPLF days, Australian Amateur Powerlifting Federation days, 1970s, 1980s perhaps. The WAPLF was disbanded in 1990. Well done, Jim. Back into the rack. I'm sure that'll be 3 white paddles. It is indeed. Thank you, Jim. Quaylen Brooks now, 110. Tom Craigie, you'll follow with 120, as will Danny Trong. Quaylen is representing the Navy. Tom representing also the Navy. And Danny is representing the police service. When we were kids, it was a police force. Not anymore. So lifting up by himself. Must pause. And it's on its way up. It's a difficult bench press. No, it's stalled out, unfortunately. Great try. Very, very close. You even Lifting order, ladies and gentlemen. On deck now, Tom Craigie with a 120. Danny Trong with the same lifter in a moment. Robert Wiggins, Luke Mullins, Sean Martin, and Miguel de Guzman. All right, lifter now on the bench press apparatus. Tom Craigie, Danny in a moment, Robert, Luke and Sean. Yes, up. Oh, very easy indeed. Back and into the rack. 1 white, 2 whites and 3 whites. Same weight on the bar, pin height 13 please. Danny will be followed by Robert, Luke, Sean and Miguel. Thank you indeed, Matt. Bar must be held at arm's length prior to the bench press beginning, the actual lift itself. Must pause on the chest, thereafter must be pressed back to completion. Lifter must wait for the rack signal. Yeah, and back in, yes, well done. White, white and white. Going up 10 kilograms now, 22 pounds that would be. 130 kg on the bar, 287. 287 pounds. 225s, a 2.5 and a collar. Robert Wiggins, you are the lifter. Luke Mullins, Sean Martin, and finally Miguel de Guzman. Everyone very close here in terms of poundages or kilogramages on the bar. One lifter at 130 and 3 at 135. Down it goes. Must be pushed back. And back into the rack. Three lifters now at 135, 297.6 pounds. I thought we might see a 300-pound bench press. We are that close. Very, very close indeed. 297. So the bar... Luke, Sean and Miguel in that particular order before we begin round 3, flight 1 of bench pressing. Nicely done, and back into the rack. White, white, and white. It's white on white all the way around. Same weight on the bar now. Pin height. Oh, it stays the same. Pin height 15. No change in weight, no change in pin height. Moving towards a 300-pound bench press round 3 of benching. And, oh, how about that? Very close to his limit there. Same weight on the bar now, please, for Miguel de Guzman, I believe, once we update the scoreboard. Yes, pin height 11. Same pin height for Danielle in a moment. Weight on the bar. This is the equal best bench press of the day. 135, 298 pounds. And it's on its way up. There we go. So back into the rack. White, white on white. Round 3 of bench pressing begins right now. Daniel Sandover, 67.5. I don't know where I got 65 from. 67.5 kilograms, 149 pounds. 2 lifters at this weight, Danielle and Brittany. Third and final round of bench pressing. Every lifter, again, ladies and gentlemen, satisfactorily has achieved a subtotal in order to then progress to the deadlift. Each lifter must have a subtotal in order to move onwards to the deadlift section, which then gives them a powerlifting total. Nicely done. White, white on white. Lovely to see so many whites. Same weight on the bar. Pin height 10, please, for Brittany. Sarah, Lynn, Christina, Nathan, Jim, and Quaylen follow on. Interesting to note again, ladies and gentlemen, Brittany's first ever powerlifting event, and she is now 6 kilos above her own body weight. Unusual in the extreme. Beautiful bench press back into the rack. May have got the rack signal. Matt is saying she didn't, but we got 2 whites and 1 red. Good enough, I believe. Yes, Henry Day offering some advice. Sarah Ma, you'll be the next lifter. 70 kilograms, pin height 12. That's a 20, a 2.5, and a collar. We mentioned earlier that the bar in the bench press section weighs 20 kilograms or 44 pounds. Plates are added, in this case a 20 kilogram plate per side, a 2.5, and the collar weighs exactly 2.5 kg. So lifting out now. Thank you very much, Luke. Lifting must, it's all uneven, but she's on the way. Unbelievable. Must be left-handed or something. 3 white paddles. Highest bench press in Australian history for a female, 165, Cleo Van Wyck from Queensland. I think she got a 165, yeah, I think. Otherwise it'd be Sarah Rainbow, 150 or 155, yeah. 107? No, she more than... Oh, I thought she was around the... Oh, all right, okay. So, bar now being loaded up for Lynn Peachy, 33 years young, representing, let's have a look, the Navy. Weight on the bar now, 87.5, 193 pounds. So close to a 200-pound bench press here for Lynn. Christina, I think, are you going to be? Yes, 198 in fact for Christina in a moment. Apparently not. Shaking her head on the way down almost. Christina, 90 kilograms. How close is this to 200 pounds? 198 and a half pounds now for Christina Stefan. Body weight 68 kilograms. So Christina, 90 kilograms. At this stage, the highest bench press for the girls. Representing the DFES, Department of Fire and Emergency Services. down. Oh, nice catching, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Gavin and Alan. Nathan Lord, 110. Pretty much his own body weight here, 111.6 kg body weight, 110 on the bar. Pin height 7, a 25 kilogram plate, a 15 and a 2.5. Thank you, Alan. So third and final round of bench pressing for the, say all the way through now, the male competitors. Yes, indeed. Nathan, Jim, Quaylen, Danny, Tom, Robert, Sean, Miguel, and finally Luke Mullins. You are the final lifter in the bench press section. Again, folks, we mentioned personal best. These are very likely personal best bench presses for each lifter in the bench press section. No, not happening. That's clearly not a personal best. Jimmy Ambrose, 110 at 75 kg body weight at about 70 years of age. I wonder if that's a record of some description. Might have to talk to Jimmy about that at the conclusion of the event. All right, Jim, this must be some type of Australian record, we would suspect. 25 kg over your own body weight at about 71 or 2 years of age. Very, very impressive indeed. As we mentioned earlier, Jimmy, a former open or senior men's record holder in the bench press. 140 some number of years ago. Up. Still going. Still going. Nicely done. Perfect choice of weights. That's right. Thank you, Russ. One red, one white. I don't know, Henry, did you, were you white? You're white. I just can't see past Alan. Yeah, Quaylen Brooks, you are the next lifter. 110. Missed this weight on his second attempt, however. Should make it on a third. Danny, Tom, Robert, Sean, Miguel, and finally Luke. So no lift out here for this particular athlete. Of his own volition, he is lifting out. Pause and pushing up. Yes, still going. Oh. And apparently his comment there is for F's sake. Danny Trong, you are the next lifter at 125. 276 pounds on the old scale. 225s and a collar. Bar is loaded. Thank you very much, Alan. Lifter on deck now. Danny Trong. Danny, we mentioned earlier. In a police service at the 2022 WA Services Cup. Lifting out again on his own. Pausing. Oh, still going. Oh, very close indeed. How about that? Tom Craigie with a 130, 287 pounds, 225s, a 2.5 and a collar. Thank you, Matt. Lifting order hereafter. Mr. Wiggins, Mr. Martin, Mr. De Guzman, and finally Mr. Mullins. Big deep breath, must pause. On its way up now. Yeah. Must be a 3 white lights, 1 red, 1 white. What, 2 whites? Thank you very much. hard to get a bench press past Matt Bilsma. 132.5. If we can add a 1.25, please. And the pin height is 1.5. Pin 5. Pin 15, I should say. I don't know where pin 5 came from. Pin 15. And the lifter now, Robert Wiggins. 4 lifters remain. Robert, Sean, Miguel, and Luke. Yes, and on the way up now, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite today. Perhaps next time. 140, 2 lifters now at 140. Sean and Miguel. Different weight divisions we mentioned earlier. Equal on this particular bench press. 145 for Luke Mullins in a moment's time. Deadlift section, I suspect, will start at about, dare I say, 12:10. I'll ask the contest organisers. So around about a 20-minute break following the conclusion of the bench press. Oh, nice catching. That one certainly came down very quickly. Same weight on the bar, pin height 11 for Miguel de Guzman. And then the highest bench press of the afternoon for Luke Mullins. We are above 300 pounds. We were hoping to see a 300-pound bench press. We are now in 300 and almost 10-pound territory, 308.6 for Miguel de Guzman. Luke Mullins in a moment's time, a little bit more with a 145. Yes. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, my gosh. Spectacular. White, and red. Very, very close there to, white, and red. Oh, my gosh. Final bench press of the entire WA Services Cup. 145, 319 pounds, or 319 and a half pounds. Lifter now, Luke Mullins, 49 years young. Representing the Army, wherever the Army is situated. I don't know if they're situated in Port Kennedy, elsewhere, maybe, Australian Army. So Luke lifting out on his own now. Must pause at the bottom of the bench. Big deep breath. Yes, on the way up. Yes, still going. Still going. I don't believe it. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow, what a bench press. Red, white. How about a huge round of applause for Luke Mullins? What a difficult bench press that was, but he pushed through. We'll be taking around about a 20-minute break. Thank you, Samuel. Before we commence... Tom obviously out to hurt himself in the deadlift. Very difficult indeed. Quaylen, same weight on the bar now for you, 190 or 419. And finally, Miguel de Guzman. Standing upright nicely. Some interesting sound effects from our perspective here. 3 white paddles. The weight stays the same. It does. Miguel, you are on deck. So we're looking at deadlifts now that are about 2.2 to 2.3 times body weight. 83.5 kg body weight at weigh-in. 190 on the bar. Very impressive indeed. Nathan Lord, one lifter only at this weight. Nice round figure, 200 kg, 441 pounds. Nathan will be followed by Jim, Sean and Robert. Round 2 of deadlifting, lifting a dead weight. Nathan Lord, you are on deck. 325s at 10, a 2.5. Chalk on the hands to ensure good grip. Yes, yeah, yes! Oh, I thought that was going to go too. Very, very close. Jimmy Ambrose, 205 at 75 kg body weight. 20 kg off triple body weight at about 71 or 2 years of age. Astounding lifting indeed. Sean, you'll follow. Finally, Robert Wiggins before we begin round 3 of deadlifts. Only about 20 kg off 3 times his body weight here, ladies and gentlemen. First competition he advises was 1978. How about that? Holy smokes. 215, second attempt now for Sean Martin. Robert Wiggins, you'll follow. 325s, a 20 and a collar. Anyway, 215, second attempt now for Sean Martin. Robert Wiggins, you'll follow. Oh, very comfortable indeed. Very, very easy. You can retrench your coach. They obviously don't know what they're doing. But it's nice. 325s per side, a 20, a 2.5 and a collar. Thank you very much, loaders. Thank you very much, Monica. Heaviest attempt of the day. Oh, we're over 500. Thank you very much, Sean. Pounds that is in the deadlift. 220. Round 2. Flight 1 of deadlifts. Standing upright. Beautiful attempt indeed. Back down to planet Earth. 3 whites. Well, we haven't seen too many reds here. In fact, only 1, can you believe? Very successful indeed. Very high percentage. We're waiting for any thirds. I don't know if Jimmy Ambrose is going again. Oh, Brittany. Oh, it's just flicked over. My apologies. Deadlift number 3, third round of deadlifts. Brittany, you'll follow on from the round 2 deadlifting. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Brittany will be followed by Christina, Sarah, Lynn, Danielle, Danny, Luke, Miguel, and Nathan. Third round of deadlifting begins right now. 140 at 61.7 kg. Incredibly impressive lifting indeed. Runaway winner on formula power to body weight ratio. Lifting, not well. How about that? I think it's our only missed lift of the day. 150 and 2 lifters at this particular weight. 225s, a 10, a 2.5 and a collar. Hold that spot for me, I might need this after that. 225s, 10, 2.5 and collar. 2 lifters here, Christina and Sarah. Lynn, Danielle, Danny, Luke and Miguel. You are to follow. Representing the WAFRS, Fire and Rescue Service, DFES. Oh my gosh. Probably could have done about 10 repetitions there with that particular weight, we would suggest. Lifter now, Sarah Ma, 28 years young. 28, I was 28 in 1990, can you believe? 150 on the bar, a body weight of 72.8. So a double body weight deadlift here now at the 2022 Services Cup. Lynn, you are on deck with 155, 225s and a 15. Lynn, you'll be followed by Danielle, Danny, Luke, Miguel, Nathan and Quaylen. Third and final round of deadlifts. Again, ladies and gentlemen, at the Port Kennedy Return Services League, site of both now in consecutive, I think is a word, years, WA Services Cup, October last year, October of 2022 this year. Oh gosh, no. Definitely a no from the judges. 160 for Danielle Sandover. Danny, Luke, Miguel and Nathan in a moment. Third and final round of deadlifting. Only 4 lots of red on the scoreboard. Very successful indeed. Final deadlift of the day now for Danielle Sandover. Must stand upright and lock it out to the judges' satisfaction. Well, it's a yes from us. Bang! Red, white, white. Just for a change, Shauna has flashed a red. 175 now for Danny Trong. Luke Mullins, you'll follow. Miguel de Guzman, Nathan Lord, Quaylen Brooks and Tom Craigie. Very, very high success rate. Probably the most successful powerlifting comp we've run for a long, long time in terms of percentage of successful attempts, utilising the same word in the same sentence. '22 WA Services Cup. Third and final deadlifts underway. Beautiful deadlift, back down. White, white and white. Thank you very much, Shauna. Finally found a white paddle in her hand somewhere there. Luke Mullins, 180, 397 pounds. Miguel, Nathan and Quaylen in a moment. Just getting himself ready. Long socks are utilised in the deadlift section to prevent skin chafing and whatnot. Beautiful deadlift and back down. Should be a 3 white light, we would suspect. It is indeed. Miguel now at 200. 2 lifters at 200 kg, 441 pounds. 3 25s, a 10 and a 2.5. Thank you, Roscoe. Looking like it's loaded. Thank you very much, Monica. On his way up, still going. Not today. Next year's WA Services Cup, I believe. Same weight on the bar for Nathan Lord, who missed it on a second. Fingers crossed for a third. Successful third. 3 white paddles is what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen, or a minimum of 2 anyway. Final lift of the day for all the competitors, including Nathan. Still going, still going, still go. Very well done indeed. One lifter now at 205, 3 25s and a 15, 452 pounds. Thank you, Roscoe, and thank you, Matt. Thank you, Monica. 85.1 kg body weight, 205 kilograms. Nicely done, about 30 kg over double body weight. Very impressive again, once again, indeed. Something like that. 210. 3 25s, a 15 and a 2.5 for Tom Craigie. Robert Wiggins and finally Sean Martin. Final deadlifts, final 3 or 4 deadlifts now. Oh, gosh. Thank you again, Tom. And yeah, about 100 kg away from his personal best, I would suspect. All right, thank you. Oh, yeah. Shane. 225. 496 pounds. What does that mean? We're going to see a 500-pound deadlift. Fingers crossed. I was hoping we'd see one. We were hoping we'd see one. We're going to see one for sure now. 2 competitors remaining. 225, 496 on the bar. Robert Wiggins, 425s aside, a total of 8 25-kilogram plates. For Robert Wiggins. Yeah, on the way. On the way. Nice deadlift. 3 white paddles. Very enthusiastic indeed. Thank you very much to your leading squad, just at the right-hand side there. Yeah, that's right. Final lift of the day, 230, 507 pounds. We finally got there. 507 is the weight on the bar. Lifted, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Martin, 34 years young, the biggest weight of the day and the only competitor to elect to lift an over 500-pound deadlift. Conventional deadlifting style, on the way up, still going, still going. Once again, folks, how about a huge round of applause for all the competitors at the 2022 WA Services Cup. Three or 4 minutes. Oh, yes, speaking of raffles, merch, always short for merchandise. So Soliders and Sirens merch, use that word.
Check, check. All right. We're pretty much done on all the tallies. You're right. Was right. All right. Are you coming up here, Murph? All right. We got to the pointy end. Some great lifting, especially from the female side, was fucking crazy. Excuse my French, but was amazing. Some of the guys coming up crazy strong too, which is awesome to see. And I just think, for me, as the person who sort of put this together, seeing everyone sort of supporting each other and getting along, I think is what makes the day worth it. So we've got some awesome prizes for first, second, third, and most promising, etc., and so on and so forth. So we'll start with most promising. So today's the most promising, just out of the running of medal contention, but really showed some true grit and phenomenal speed off the ground. Tom Craigie. No, he wants a photo. No. Yeah, you gotta get. It's got my head in it. It's going to be rough. Yeah, stay up here for a photo with everyone afterwards. Yeah. So all these bits and pieces, the drink bottles and bags and stuff, they're all donated by Baguio Sports. So thanks to John for putting his hand in his pocket and helping us out with this. Lion told me I have to do the heaviest deadlift. So the heaviest deadlift today goes to Robert Wiggins. 225, I believe. And gets a Bossman Barbers. Yeah. So, yeah, stay on, mate. So, Antonio Bossman, who owns Bossman's Barbers, he has always been a supporter of this event, so we're really grateful. He's even put some get your ears lowered in the packages that we're winning. All right. All right, now we'll go Masters. So we only had male Masters. So the winner, by just being a phenomenal lifter, Jim Ambrose. All right, now let's get into the fun stuff and the 3, 2, 1s. So we'll start with the female open. Coming in third place and just coming in and kicking ass, Danielle Sandover. Don't go away, Danny. We're going to get a team group photo when it's all done. What'd you say? Oh, yeah. Fun fact. We served together. Yeah. Me either. All right, in second place, who I think Lyanne talked her into doing it, got her to put her name down at the gym, Brittany. And that was just some phenomenal lifting by Brittany, and only pipped by another chick who is phenomenally strong. 2 years in a row, Christina Steffen. With a calf injury. All right, now we're going to the male open. So this guy's bloody strong. Great to see. So coming in third place, Sean Martin. Awesome. In second place, with what Adam Coe referred to as the deepest squats in Australian history, Miguel. And in first place, this is a phenomenal name for me to see as number one today, Luke Mullins. Before we do the team trophy and figure out how much money we got in the bank for Soldiers and Sirens, let's get all the athletes up here from the winner's circle up here to get a photo. Everyone is up here. In front of the table. Yeah. Yeah. Cole, you in the house? There he is. We're going to do the team trophy. So, for those who don't know Cole, this is Cole. Cole's the VP here. He's the one that's helped us put this all together. Him and the girls behind the desk and everyone else that runs the place, we're extremely grateful for this and the venue. And these guys sponsored the trophy. That's why this is the second year we've had it, and second year we've got Cole to present it for us. So, I'll go through some of the numbers. Cole's a Navy man. So we got 4 teams this year. We got the Fireys, the Police, Navy and Army. Air Force didn't show up. They're eating caviar somewhere. We've got... So probably in their hotel somewhere. We've got... In 4th place was the Fireys. Coming 3rd, only a little jump ahead of him, was the Police. And much to mine and Cole's disgust, there's been a change of guard this year. Coming in 2nd was the Navy. And taking it out strong this year with some really strong guys and undeniably taking it out. And ladies, sorry. Yeah. I meant that as a generalisation, not just... Yeah, but anyway. So, with a clear win, the Army. So come up here, guys, and get a photo with your trophy. And girls. With these guys. Jimmy and that. It's crazy. And we'll get, before you go away, Army, before you go away, we'll get the Soldiers and Sirens up here to get a photo with you as well. Jimmy, before you run off, get the Soldiers and Sirens to get a photo with you and your trophy. Yeah, it's definitely not as heavy as what they were lifting. Cheers. Did you want to have a chat?
Yeah, thanks guys, girls, for coming down. It's great to have yous down here. Be great to see yous back again next year. I know yous wanted a barbie as well as the kitchen, but maybe I'll talk them into it next year. see how we go. But yeah, thanks very much for popping down. And yeah, hope to see yous here all here again next year. And let's just hope it goes back to the Navy next year, eh? But well done, Army. Well done. Cheers.
All right, so now it's time to we spent a bit of time putting the numbers together towards the end there. I sort of had an idea, and if you've been following the socials, you've seen that we've sort of been updating and posting a bit as we go on what we've raised. So I'll get Lion to bring it up. And I'll get, the Soldiers and Sirens are here. So Soldiers and Sirens, I'll probably hand it over to one of you guys just quickly to have a chat. Yeah. And they can just tell you what they do, and it'll sort of explain why we support them and their cause.
First of all, thank you very much indeed for the invitation and mainly the work you do to everybody here who's competed. Anybody who has provided any sort of support in any way is absolutely greatly appreciated. Soldiers and Sirens was set up by Danielle, who was here earlier today. She's was one of my former constables at Mirrabooka when I was in charge of the IMU, which was overseeing everybody, and she absolutely cared about people. Got sick and tired of the police back in well before I did, and got out and got her psych degree. And her and Daniel set up Soldiers and Sirens. He's now moved on to other pastures, but Danielle's kicked on and co-opted myself and many others into coming along and getting it going. So the support's there. It's called Soldiers and Sirens for a reason. It's nothing against Army and Navy or anyone like that. It's just soldiers, because everyone just ADF or whatever it is. But it's there to support everybody as best we possibly can. The big part of it is it's the mental health, psychological, whatever you want to call it. I've spent 34 years in the police department, and the last 5 years as a peer support coordinator. And I've got a simple scenario. If your car breaks down, you take it to the garage. If you've got a sore tooth, you go to the dentist. If you're not feeling well, you go to the doctor. If you're not feeling good in the head, go and see somebody. Don't sit back and let it go. It's going to be like a car, it'll break down. So that's what we're there for. There's many other support people around for all ADF and police. Please don't think that you're alone. Stand up, go and do something about it. Don't sit back and wait for it to happen. So once again, thank you very much indeed for this today. All the funds will be put out probably to help support somebody who can't pay for it, so they'll get some sessions and hopefully get them over the line. I might have them back here lifting weights next year. So again, thank you very much to each and every one of you. Appreciate it.
So I think it was 2 years ago now you guys lost funding completely? Yeah, so it used to have funding, we lost it completely, and I think it was this year it's officially reopened. Yeah, so last year we sort of helped with impartially with that, and sort of with the money we raised last year, so we want to keep that going. So this year with everything, last year we raised $4,000. Yep, about $4,000. I'm pretty sure that's the check that we wrote. So it was about $4,000. So this year, with the generosity of our sponsors, we raised just over $4,000. But Damn Tools, this is one of the companies that I run, we've decided to match what we've raised. So we've raised $8,250.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Greatly appreciated. That's the treasurer, so she'll be loving this. Great. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Can't say anything more.
So this money's a combination of our sponsors. It's a combination of every athlete that competed today, everyone who brought a shirt, everyone who bought raffle tickets, all that. So thank you. So we'll send you real money, not a pretend check. So yeah.
I'd like to take that home in the car.
All right, now we're going to do the raffle. So if you got tickets, get them out. Oh, they got names on them, have they? Oh, don't worry about it. You've got your name. Yeah, sure. All right, third. Yep.
Hi. Okay, so we'll draw third prize first, which is a Catalano and Co. Baldivis voucher and a Coburn Arc family voucher. If your name is drawn, go see Sarah and she will hand out your prize.
Mine was supposed to be blue tack to the bottom. It clearly wasn't. Yeah, I can't read that handwriting. Oh, there you go.
I'll give that to him. That's fine.
He's Navy, you can have it.
All right, first prize, barbecue and barbecue pack. Mr. Cove. Uncle Adam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, come on. Only if you draw my name out.
Fucking rigged. He just pulled his own name out. Well, he just won himself a barbecue and a barbecue pack. With all that done, seriously, guys, thanks everyone for everything. We'll be back next year, and Cole will have us, which is great. Thanks to all our sponsors. If you need help with any advocacy stuff, Actions on Advocacy, a professional group that do it. They're there if you need them. If you need contacts, let us know. We'll put you through to them. Fiona from Much Needed, really appreciate your support today and every year. Damn Tools, as I said before, it's another company I run. We sell drill bits to the mines. Power Pit, Power Fitness, Monster Fit, a couple other companies we run. Baguio Sports, so this was originally John's idea. John doesn't sit still, so that's why John's not here, but he's on the mines at the moment. So thanks to him for all those prizes that you guys got, they come from him. The RSL, obviously, Soliders and Sirens, Muscle Pit. They actually sponsored all the medals and stuff you got today that come from them. So thanks, Henry and the team. Bossman Barbers, Antonio's always had our back. He's at our comps. He supports all our KPL events. He's a godsend. Whippersnapper Distillery, each year they've come in. They're ex-forces. They've come in and supported us with the masterclass tickets. We've got Catalanos and Co. Brooke, she's amazing. She supports a lot of events. She's a powerlifter herself, which helps. Reese Whitby, he was the Minister for Emergency Services, and he's come in and he's helped us out every year as well. Minuteman Press, they did all the printing and signage and shirts and stuff for us at last minute when our other shirt stuff didn't quite come through. So they pulled a cat out of the bag for us, which was amazing. Bunnings, Baldivis, they threw the barbecue in, which is awesome. Thanks to Lion's fundraising skills. And we've got a recomp technician down there. So that, if you don't know, that's Craig Dartnell. He's my coach. The reason his name's on there because he sponsored this event so I wouldn't guest lift. So he paid so that I wouldn't lift today. Because he doesn't want me lifting, obviously. But yeah, it was grateful for you all. Thanks for that, and enjoy the rest of your day.